It's time now for a look at the latest in local news. In the news, the early voting continues for the Wayne County Board of Education's East Splost, a yes or no vote to continue the 1 cent penny for education. If passed, expected to raise $30 million over a 5-year period. Time of the early voting, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. A second Saturday set for this Saturday, March 11th. Time on Saturday will be from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Then early voting all next week, Monday through Friday. Election date Tuesday, March 21st. Location of early voting at the Hall Richardson Recreation Center, located at 660 North 4th Street. Unfortunately, we didn't receive Wednesday's totals. On Tuesday, 26 people voted. Heading into Wednesday, 237 votes had been cast. If the East Bluffs passes, the Board of Education has 2 priority projects: building of an ROTC facility and also the building of a new agricultural center. There has been talk of using some of the money to improve athletic facilities. Still, a decision by the Superintendent Board is to be made regarding JC Stadium. Decision is to either renovate the stadium or to simply build a new stadium across from the high school. Once again, that decision has not been made at this time. Current East Bluffs runs out in June of 2024, so that's why the vote's taking place this year. Board of Education just needs one more yes vote than no vote, and the East Bluffs will continue. Once again, early voting today from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Hall Richardson Recreation Center. The county vote on their SPLOST will take place either this November or next March, but the SPLOST runs out the same time. The East SPLOST runs out, which is in June of 2024. At Monday's county meeting, Chairman Kevin McCrary and Mike Gordon were selected as the 2 representatives from the county to sit down and negotiate the SPLOST referendum and what will be in it with the cities of Jesup, Bodum, and Scriven, as they have to put in the referendum what the money will be used for. At Monday's meeting, James Thomas, the long-serving county commissioner, volunteered to be one of the county's representatives, citing his experience with previous SPLOST referendums in the county. Chairman Kevin McCrary wanted Mike Gordon as the county rep, not James Thomas. Those negotiations should begin shortly, as the county has to decide if the vote will be this November or they'll wait until March of 2024. Courtroom security, a community center, those are the 2 major projects that the county has discussed, but Jesup, Bodum, and Scriven have their wish list as well. Once again, the SPLOST vote will take place either November of this year or March of 2024. Again, that decision is yet to be made. Both the Jesup City Council and the county met this week. We'll come back with some of the news items from those meetings after these word from our sponsor, other commercial messages, so please stay tuned. In other news, both the county and the city council of Jesup met this week, and beginning with the county, the council announced that they've narrowed the list of potential candidates for the position of county administrator from 8 down to 4. They state they'll soon begin conducting interviews with the candidates. If the list was narrowed to the final 3 by law, those names would have to be made public. But since it's 4, the names are withheld from the public. Commissioners in Atlanta today for a breakfast, the Georgia Legislative Breakfast with the Association of County Commissioners, taking place today up in Atlanta. Again, no timetable on when a new administrator will be hired was given at the county meeting. Another story from the meeting, and something they have been working on, is the compensation for volunteer firefighters. Compensation. The compensation agreed upon at the meeting was $599 a year, payable in 2 installments, and a signing bonus of $200 per firefighter if they get certified. County hoping to encourage young adults to become a volunteer firefighter. At one meeting, Commissioner Tim Hopkins says there's simply a generation gap, as it's becoming difficult to find young volunteers. At the Jesup City meeting on Tuesday, the council has agreed on a contract for the completion of a heated pool at Cracker Williams Recreation Center. The cost is $875,600, and the contract is with United Pool. Commissioner Bill Harvey's been pushing for a pool for years, and now it seems like it's really going to happen. At the meeting, however, City Engineer Bill Schuman explained that the contract is just for the construction of the pool. It does not include needed improvements to the dressing rooms and bathrooms attached to the pool. Schuman, quote, is saying, "I wouldn't be comfortable spending this kind of money without a plan." Commissioners requested that the city manager, Rose Marcus, work out a plan and bring that information to the retreat, which is scheduled for April 4th through the 6th on Jekyll Island. City Manager Rose Marcus stated Tuesday at the meeting that she felt confident that a plan for the pool can be worked out. Other news from the city, the council voted unanimously for a change order on the work at Pine Bloom Circle, which calls for extending driveways and making the ditches more compatible for residents and vehicles. City Engineer Bill Schuman says the work is still being done. It will take another 60 to 90 days before being completed. At a previous meeting, residents from that area met with the council as they were upset about how the project was being done. Council got back with the contractor, the problem addressed, and the residents and the city have hopefully resolved the issue. The council voted unanimously again Tuesday for the change order. And finally, from the city, the James R. Bland Park just about completed, waiting on a sign with the donor has given the city $50,000 for the sign. The sign cost about $34,000, so the extra money is still being discussed with the donor and the city on how that money will be used. The park project itself came in under budget, roughly $10,000 under budget. Council pleased with the park. They commended the work by their new downtown coordinator, Hallie Gillespie, who started back in October. The city at the retreat also wants to discuss a city festival, as no Archfest is scheduled this year for the city of Jesup. Council members Tuesday, Tim Cockfield and Pamela Schumann, asked that the topic of a festival be put on the agenda at their retreat on Jekyll Island. Schumann says Jesup has a lot of talent, and a festival is one place they can showcase that talent. We'll be back with some final news notes after this word from our sponsor, other commercial messages, so please stay tuned. Final notes in the news in Atlanta, that the state legislature, the Georgia Senate Finance Committee on Wednesday unanimously backed a $1 billion income tax rebate similar to the one the state sent out last year. The vote comes 2 days after the House and Senate backed a mid-year state budget that includes a separate $1 billion property tax rebate. House has already passed the income tax rebate legislation, House Bill 162, and the full Senate is expected to give it final approval in the coming days. Both rebates proposed by Governor Kemp last year when he was running for re-election. He announced his plan once it was clear the state was running a massive surplus in tax collections. After all the bills were paid, the state's surplus for fiscal year 2022, which ended on June 30th, was a record $6.6 billion. Under the income tax rebate legislation, single filers receive a $250 rebate, while couples filing jointly receive $500. One of the Kemp's floor leaders, Representative Lauren McDonald, said yesterday it's $1 billion going back to the citizens of Georgia because it's their money. Wayne County Historical Society meets this evening at Captain Joe's Restaurant. The guest speaker for the evening will be Riley Lee, Sacred Harp singing leader for the Hoboken Sacred Harp. Sacred Harp singing is well known in the primitive Baptist churches of our area, and the Lee family is renowned in its musical style. Hoboken has become widely known for Sacred Harp and will host its annual all-day sing on March 18th. And tonight's Dutch treat meal begins at 6 at Captain Joe's. Program begins at 7. Everyone is welcome to attend. Annual Peaches to Beaches set for this weekend, Friday and Saturday, March 10th and 11th. Gets underway from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. both days. Official site locations in Wayne County: Odom Rec Center, Odom Train Depot, Coastal Pines Technical College, and 656 East Pine Street. Again, if you need more information, simply call Odom City Hall at 586-2211 or Jesup City Hall at 427-1313. Chamber of Commerce has the big ribbon cutting for Harris Ace Hardware tomorrow. That gets underway at 12 noon, and then Harris Ace Hardware has their big sale on Saturday. And Harris Ace Hardware ribbon cutting by the Chamber tomorrow at 12 noon. Chamber also selling tickets to their annual Taste of Wayne 14th annual event set for Thursday, April 13th from 6 to 10 p.m. Tickets available at the Chamber, $50 for a member, $75 for a guest. Again, if you need more information, call the Chamber at 427-2028. And the Wayne County Board of Tourism gearing up for the Altamar River Run. March 25th is the date. The paddle begins at 8:30 a.m. at Upper County Landing. Paddlers have a choice of 2 takeout points. The 11-mile paddle takes out at Pig Farm, Oglethorpe Landing. 16-mile paddle takes out at J.C. Landing. Again, registration is $10 per paddler. Children 10 under paddle for free with a registered adult. Altamar River Expedition has canoe and kayak rental for $45 each. Contact them at 912-294-3604. Shuttles will be available from the takeout points, with the shuttle leaving J.C. Landing at 8 and Oglethorpe Landing at 8:15 a.m. Registration forms available at the Jesup Train Depot. You can go online to the Tourism Board website, waynetourism.com. And they ask you to bring your hat, sunscreen, and snack lunch. Enjoy the spring beauty of the river with the Altamar River Run. Once again, the date, Saturday, March the 25th. That's going to do it for the latest in local news. Sports comes your way in a few minutes. Bob Morgan, have a great day.